I didn't get to get anyone to record this for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and do it now. I got top 8 at the first and hopefully annual PPG event in New Jersey, in Atlantic City, and I was playing Prank Kids. So I guess I'll get started with the deck profile. My name is Jonathan Gokenauer, and this is my fourth premier event top within the 2.5 years that I've been playing competitively. And hopefully I can bring you guys some more. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. This is the top 8 mat that you got. It even says top 8 in the bottom left-hand side and the top right-hand corner. It's, Blue Eyes on Earth, the 2-player mat. It's really, really nice cloth mat, really nice. I'm not sure. I might sell it. I don't know yet. Maybe make offers. I don't know what people would want to offer on this if you guys want it. Anyways, so let's get started with the deck profile. So we're good with the standard stuff. We have. Let me actually adjust the camera here a little bit so that way you guys can see it a little bit better. Do this. Yes, this is my bed because, like I said, I just got home and I didn't get anyone to record this, so hopefully you guys don't mind. Pull a little bit closer. I'll see if I can zoom in a bit. There we go. Alright. So start off with the monsters. Alright, we got 3 Fansies, standard, 3 Roxy, standard, 3 Lamps, standard, 3 Drops, standard, and I could have done 3 Ash, but if I'm able to keep multiple hand traps in hand to have more interaction, I prefer that. So I did the 2-in-1 with Bell. I only own 1 Bell. I would rather side it, but when I only own 1 and want a variation to different hand traps, I went ahead and did the 2 Ash and 1 Bell, and I sided the 3rd Ash. So that is the hand trap ratio. Usually you want only 3. You don't have a lot of room. This is Dragonhawk, and this is Thunder Dragon Dark. I borrowed Dark and Colossus from my friend. So shoutouts to Kyle Doval if he let me borrow the Dark and Colossus so I could use for this event. I switched up my deck profile literally the same morning after already having established, and he said he wanted them back, but thank goodness in the morning he's like, they were going to be Cosmic Cyclones, but then he's like, I don't need them, you can use them. So I went and switched back to the Dragon Hawk and the Thunder Dragon Dark. And the reason I use those is because there's a combo with Summon Sorceress that you bring out, and your ending board is Nightmare Griffin, totally awesome. Nightmare Griffin, totally awesome. And Colossus up top. And then you have Pandemonium set with a guaranteed at least 1 prank in hand. And pranks. Now, you can have access to Butler if you want also for another interaction, but usually I just search pranks to give me guaranteed recursion. So even if they do break that, they're not going to have a lot to go after, like to use. So you just, we usually go into Weather Washer and then beat them the next turn. That's how I usually like to do it. You don't normally need the Butler. But if you're playing against something like Rongo and you really want the extra interaction, that's fine. You can search place and have 2 Prank Kids in hand and get the 3rd from Toad when you negate to have access to Butler. So it's totally up to you. If you need to see the combo, if you guys have enough people to ask for it, it's actually on the Doodle Doodle Doo Facebook page and you can check out the videos on there, so I don't have to show you. But anyways, so with the traps, we only play 1. I play the 1 Prank Kids plan. I used to play 2. You still can. I only missed the 2nd one when I'm playing against something like Altergeist. Luckily, I didn't have to play any this format, so and there were times I banished it off Desires and against Striker, and I was like, man, of course, this is the only time I ever banish it. But you only really need it for the grind game against Striker and possibly the 2nd one for Altergeist. So it's pretty good. I like it at 1. It's fine, I think. You only need 1, especially if you don't play Desires. So, anyways, I got 1 reasoning. This was when. I mean, obviously, you still want it as another starter, but it definitely didn't help every game. One time, I got a freelance out and won me a game against Steven Logan or Froggy's Gym Knight FTK deck, OTK, whatever you want to call it. And then I also got a Pankratops out once, and then I summoned 2 Prank Kids with it all weekend, and then I think it got hit blindly twice by the people who called it right level. So, I mean, it's good. I still wouldn't cut it. It's really a good starter to have and stuff. 2 Call by the Grave. You only play 2 in this build when you're doing the combo because um, if they're gonna if they have a hand trap that's worthwhile or anything like on like a bell or anything, they're gonna use it early on your other stuff. So they're gonna use it as soon as you like use your rocket to summon back 2. So just 2 Call by the Grave. Honestly, I think I like it at 2. The deck is 42 cards, and I don't want to make it any bigger. So 2 Call by the Grave is fine. You can side the 3rd if you want, if you're going first if you want, but 2 is fine for me. 2 Desires, like I said. You can play 3, but I was trying to keep the deck minimum. I didn't want to just have 40 plus 3 Desires, so I did 40 plus 2 Desires. You know, so just whatever. 2 Terraforming, set 2. 3 Plays, standard. 3 Pranks should be standard. Hopefully people have realized that by now. You need as many starters, cards, and extenders as you can to play through things and to get your play started. 3 Pandemonium, standard for now until a better fusion spell comes out. Maybe you can cut it to 2 then. 3 Instant Fusion, standard. Great starter, great extender. Especially after turn 1 when you already have 2 Pranks engraved, then it's a 1 card like. Your deck becomes a 1 card combo then instead of a 2 or 3 card. So 3 Poly, standard, and 2 Invocation. Some people play the King of the Swamp. I don't think it's needed. This plays around Thunder Dragon Colossus, and the deck has a good matchup in it. You don't want to make it worse by adding in cards at search. So you'd rather have things that just open up and play right from the get-go. So Invocation. Normally, the fusing from field doesn't come up too often unless you draw this later in the turn anyway. So, I mean, this can be belled, I guess, but I think I would rather have this be belled than something like Bow Wow or Doodle or, you know, any of that. As long as you can play. This is obviously the better starter, but if you can play, it doesn't really matter. If they base spell on this and you can play, then you're fine. You're going strong there. So that is it for the main deck. 42 cards. Side deck. I did the 3rd Ash, as I mentioned. And 3 Lancia. Don't cut this. This is great in the format against Thunder Dragon. It's good against Rongo Bongo because they can't banish the PKs. Especially good against the Dark variant that I played in the top 16. You know, he lost instantly even with this. So 2 Gamma Seal. I did have 3, but I wanted to play Dweller in the side. So I cut the 3rd Gamma Seal for Dweller. I put it in a couple times, but I never got to make it. Normally, like, against something like Rongo, especially, I mean, actually any of the variants, honestly, Goki or Dark variant, you would make this over Toad by using 2 Roxies, so it's better. You know, big Floodgate over than over Negate, and it's what you would prefer. So, Dweller. 2 Pankratops. Every time I saw Pankratops, I basically saw Gamma Seal, so great combos, right? Pankratops is great. I'm probably going to put it up to 3 at some point for some reason, for any other reason. Or, sorry, wrong words, but I'm going to put it at 3 probably for something. Anyways, 3 evenly matched. Self-explanatory. It's good versus Outer Guys, versus any back row decks. Striker. I sided in, I think, once. No, I sided in against every Striker matchup, obviously. I saw it, I think, every time but once. Very good. So it's a good card. Especially when people like don't play around it for some reason after game 1. 2 Twin Twister. This deck, you know, you don't want to discard a lot of cards, especially, and you don't want to draw multiple of these. If you draw 2 of these, it's fine against like back row decks, but then you normally can't play. Like, getting rid of 4 cards in your hand, your last 2 has to be like Instant Fusion and a Prankhead monster. So, like, I mean, yeah, it's not obviously likely for you to draw more than 1, but I'd rather just draw 2 and then 3 evenly. And then Pankratops, I think, you know, to 1 for 1, I think is better in most cases. So 2 of this and 2 Pankratops, and the 3 evenly was fine for back row removal and stuff. 1 Judgment, I sided in every time I went first, but never saw it, so I don't know. You can play it or you can hate it. Alright, extra deck. So with this variant, the extra deck is really tight with this because I'm playing the Dark and the Hawk. So everything has to be exactly the way like this is. There are only 2 different cards that can be changed for anything you want. Can be the Boral Sword and the Boral Load. and you can just make those anything you want. But I prefer to keep those in here because they can come up a lot. So we'll go ahead, 2 Doodles, 2 Bow Wows, 2 Rocket. In any build, you should never need 3 of this. People play 3 of this. I don't know why. Never. You don't need 3. You don't. Like, I don't understand. And I don't understand why people try to play 1 of this. It's not the correct way of doing this deck. You want to build resources up by going back and forth with these in the beginning, and let pranks be live as well, and just build up resources. Like, people who play 1 of this, it's wrong, it's not right, you're not playing the deck right. And people who play 3 of this, you're wasting an extra deck spot for no reason. You don't need that. You can play 2 of this if you want. I don't ever do it. I play 1. You only need 1. If you ever use it early and you're going to, like, first or whatever, and you need to attack something, if they, it's going to stay on your board until their turn and you tribute it off. And then you don't need to make this on your turn next turn at all. Like, you don't. And in other scenarios, you can just recycle it back with plan on the same turn that you use this effect. But you're usually putting this back with pranks, then you can summon it again with Pandemonium on their turn. Like, you never need the second one, ever. If you're playing the deck correctly, this second one never comes up. Alright? Never. So, 1 of that is fine. 1 Battle Butler, 1 Roaring Roaster, standard. 1 Totally Awesome for the 2 drops he's play, obviously standard in most decks. The Summon Sorceress, Griffin, and this is for the combo. And then Colossus. Like I said, I borrowed from my friend, so it's not here right now. So that is for the combo, and then Boral Sword and Borload, my personal preference to play both until something better comes out. But these 2 cards, they win games, they steal games, hence steal, haha. But I don't think I made Boral Sword all tournament, but like I said, it does come up in testing a lot when I do play testing. So these, this is obviously standard. You never want to cut this. If you're going to play 1, you play Borload because of the Thunder Dragons that's currently in the meta. But I know I like to play both. And so the extra deck went perfectly, like, honestly. So the game I lost in Swiss was to the winner of the entire event, and it was because I literally accidentally, the game went on for 37 minutes, and I forgot that I had used Weather Washer already. So when I went pranks, I overlooked it in grave and didn't put it back and put back a Bow Wow. And then on his turn, when I activated Pandemonium, I couldn't make this because it was in my grave. So I was forced to make Battle Butler against Striker, and that's obviously bad. So I ended up, that's the one I lost in Swiss when I went X1 and got 3rd place. So that's it for the extra deck. Overall, my matchups were Dino round 1. Round 2 was Striker. Round 3 was Trickstar against Corey Roca. And round 4 was against Calvin Tahan. He was playing Striker ABC. Round 5 was Striker again against the guy who won the event, Jared Zimmerman. That's the one I said I misplayed on. And he won. He beat me that in Swiss. And then round 6 was... let's see, round 6... Oh, boy. Round 6, what was that? I didn't play any Thunder Dragon. Oh, round 6, I was going to be paired with Nishad, but we got repaired due to someone messed up. So when I got repaired, I got paired against... Oh, it was Rongo Bongo. Yeah, round 6 was Rongo Bongo, and I won the die roll, thank goodness. Because if I didn't, I totally lost. So I 2-0'd him. And then round 7 was... What was round 7? Round 7... Let me think. I didn't play any mirrors either. Round 7 was... I honestly don't remember what my round 7 was. I'm sorry. But in round 8 was Striker against Giovanni. Sorry, dude. I know, you got 17th place then because you lost to me. Sorry, man. But, anyways, that was my matchups. And then in top 16, I played round 1 against Rongo Bongo. I forgot his name, but Jamie Lee or something like that. Jamie Lou or something. And I beat him. He was playing the dark variant. Very, very strong variant as well, but it definitely loses more to Lancia. And then I lost to Aaron Furman in top 8 when I lost to die roll, and he gumlarred me for 4, plus Diablos for the 5th card, so I couldn't play. And then game 2, I went first, and I had like everything that I needed, but he had Gamma for Doodle, and then he used Bell on my um, Rocket. So then I ended up passing with only Bow Wow because I did have many extenders and stuff, so I still was able to put Bow Wow on board and leave it. And it was Prank's Bow Wow, and then on his turn, he started off with Gold Sark. He had a 4-card hand starting out. He started with Gold Sark, and I like activate Lancia, so then he had 3 cards, but his other 3 cards was like Foolish Burial and oh goodness, I don't even remember the other 2, but it was Foolish Burial and it was Grinder Golem. One of them was Grinder Golem, and then the third one I don't remember. Oh, it was Dragon Matrix. Yeah, it was Dragon Matrix, Thunder, Grinder Golem, and uh, Foolish Burial, and that like literally got his whole entire play started. So props to him. I don't know if he got lost in top 4 or the semis, but good job, Furman, on that. But shout outs to the team I'm on, Team Monster. I haven't gotten my merchandise for them yet, so I wasn't able to like show them off during the event. So hopefully, next event that I go to, I'll be able to wear their gear and play on their mat. So shout out to Team Monster and the sponsors for them, and shout outs to, like I said, Caldoble for letting me borrowing the Thunder Dragon cards that I needed, and shout outs to Stephen Logan, Froggy, Tony, and Sean, who let me stay with them at the hotel this weekend. So, you guys, thanks for watching. That is my top 8 Prank Kids deck profile.